right. Welcome back to the shed. Today I am putting on my Chip Gaines hat and doing some home improvement here. As you can see, I live in filth. And today that's going to slightly change. I just went to the harbor to purchase some freight, and I think we're gonna put it to use now. So hopefully it looks ever so slightly less terrible here in like an hour. We'll find out. Ooh. Cool. All right. Cool. All right, what we have before us are two more clamps. Two more clamps. Because like everyone says, you actually can never have too many clamps. I got the light I've been talking about to replace this so it's not so harsh, so I can actually see what I'm doing. We got a magnetic tool holder, so hopefully I can put my tools somewhere so I stop losing them every few minutes. On top of that, we got the drill I've been talking about, as well as a re-up on the double-sided tape. Another one of these little utility knives because they are wildly useful. And then some dowels because I will be putting some of this together with dowels. And I realized like this is why I have a problem. I just strewn everywhere these items. It is like a perfect circle around me of junk now. So this is why I need organization in here. And I need it to be convenient because otherwise I won't use it. So what I think I will do is step one, going to plug the light in so that I can actually see better. And then I'm going to find a place for the tool holder. I'm going to find what tools I use frequently and then just... My camera ran out of storage, but what I was saying I don't think was really important. So, moving on. All right, while you were offloading some videos to get storage space, I have installed this very bright new LED. It's like 8,000 lumens, it's wonderful. I've also put up the magnetic tool holder, so I've got frequently used tools there. I've got a couple chisels, my combination square of the block plane, and the tools I use to change out the bits on my router. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a way to organize this. I don't know what I'm going to do first. I've got tools to sort, I've got bits to sort, I've got hand tools, power tools, I've got scrap wood. The scrap wood now has a scrap wood bucket, which is fantastic. And then I need to find a place for offcuts, which I'm going to differentiate from scrap wood because, you know, it's nice walnut and I don't have much. Cool. So I believe organization is next. Yeah, organization's next. First order of business is I'm turning this shelf, which is currently a yoga mat, some basketballs, and books, into a bits and hand tools shelf. So I need to grab, I need to find my drill bits because I haven't had a drill in a while. I bought the drill, as you know. I have been using an impact driver, which is a different thing if you didn't know. So this is going to be planes, sanding blocks, bits, tape, little things like that. And then from there, I think I should have a much clearer idea of where to organize the rest of my tools. All right, we have router bits, drill bits, sanding blocks, chisels. We have two hand saws, a rasp, two jack planes, tape, scrap wood, offcuts, whatever you want to call it, another rasp, some push blocks, and that is that for this shelf. It might not look organized to you, but it is very, very, very organized to me. Okay, next is power tools, cleaning all this crap, and then we should have a much nicer area to work in. I'm thinking about moving the router table way over there and thinking about unscrewing the little bench vise here and moving it further that way so I have an open, clean space here in the middle to work with, which seems like a smart thing to do. I've also got to sweep the floors. There's piles and piles of shavings. There's piles of sawdust over here. It's major upgrade time. Feeling much more energetic today than I was not too long ago. We have finally had some warm days. It's like a delicious 70 degrees outside. I have come back from the gym, had some caffeine in me. Life is good, and I am super excited to finally have a space that doesn't feel terrible to work in. So it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day. And I should still have plenty of time left over to make the vent slots in the top portion of the little vent supports there that I've been working on. So good day, good day. Look at the state of this screw. Disgusting. Crazy. The oscillating cutting tool, the one tool in here that I would never buy this thing again for woodworking. That is, maybe there's uses that I don't know that I should be using this for, but this is something that I wasted my money on. It was cheap, but I wasted my money on it. The only times I've used this are when I'm specifically trying to find a thing to use this for. Would not buy. Look at that. You can't really see, but it's so much cleaner. A bunch of junk is on the floor now because it's not on here, but this is swept. It's full of like paint marks and junk, so it doesn't look clean, but it is clean. Maybe I'll repaint that one day or sand it or something, but that's not a project for now. What is a project for now is all this junk. I'm sweeping up this. I've put a bunch of tools on the floor that were on here so I could sweep there. So now I got to put tools from the bench that are on the floor, from the floor back on the bench so I can sweep the floor, just like I swept the bench. So that's next. Swept, not swept. Look at the amount of that. That's crazy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the amount. Like, this is deep. Look at the amount of wooden snow I was living amongst. I forgot what the floor looked like. This is genuine hand-carved wooden snow. This is artisan material right here. But for real, look at that. It's like, well, that's gotta be, I don't know, like 5 inches deep, that pile? Who knows? Regardless, this is insane. This is insane for me. Oh, what did I do? Okay, you can still see me? Cool. Okay, the floor is swept. Tools are still all strewn around, not in the right places, so I'm gonna put tools up, and I think what I'm gonna do next is there's this shelf full of a lot of junk that is not mine. Some of it is mine. I'm gonna try to make the most accessible parts all mine. So I'm gonna move junk from upper to lower shelves and then my stuff up into the shelves that I can access. we're making progress here. We're making solid progress in not too long of a time, which is crazy for old Luke here. Yeah, it's nuts to feel the wooden floor without like a cushion of sawdust under my feet. So yeah, it's a whole new world over here. After this, let's see, I can get that organized, that being the bench because you can't see, shelf, bench, and then I should be pretty good to go to start working on the project again. Nice. I do think I am going to move the router table, and I'm definitely going to move the vise because I already took the vise out. That's where that awful screw came from. When I put the vise in, I was at an end of my patience. So I stripped a screw trying to put it in and just jammed it all the way in. So that was a pain to get out. But we're coming along now. Things are good. Things are good. All right. Here's what's up right now. What I've done so far here is I have hung up my big drywall square over there. I've hung up my clipboard of plans. I have organized the shelves over there. I've organized a little bit of the wiring over here. I've swept the floors. I've swept the tabletop. I have cleaned up all the junk around here. I've got a bin for my scrap wood. I've got a space for my offcuts. I've moved the bench grinder and wire wheel over here and put it permanently in place. So I got one clamp back that I was using for that. I have charged the drill battery. New drill works great. I have used it to install this. The vise over there is going to come over here. So this is going to be the grinder and vise station. And then I'm going to move the router table either to this edge or to that edge. So I have an open space on the end of the table over there. I might use this side of the table that you can't really see right there, but it's got like tents and a rug and stuff that is just being stored in here on that side. So I might move some of my wood storage over there just to give a clean edge, because right now I've got a bunch of plywood and a big foam sheet laid up against the side of this big shelving unit and just the junk back there that you can't see. But I'm super pleased with how this is coming along so far. I'm gonna have a lot more space. This wasn't accessible, this side of the tabletop here, so I moved all this junk over here, swept out a bunch, and now I'll be able to have a good solid like 3 extra feet of tabletop here. While I was cleaning out the shelf and re-putting things up, I think I showed you that. The keen eyed amongst you might have seen that I have a little belt sander, and I was complaining the other day about not having a belt sander and saying if you have a shop with a belt sander, you gotta appreciate it. I'm aware of my hypocrisy. I just have not but I have not bought sandpaper to go with that. I could have bought it at Harbor Freight today, but I've been doing fine without, and I've already spent so much money, I don't really want to spend any more money. So yeah, a lot of improvement here. I don't know if I'm going to keep the router table the way it is, where it's like clamped to the tabletop. It is nice and it works fine. I've had 0 issues with it, but it does use up 2 clamps, and it actually uses up 3 because I have a clamp that's used to set the fence. So I might modify that and make it just permanently in place. I'm gonna stick it over here on this side and see how well it fits. If I've got enough room to where I can work around and use the grinder the way I've wanted to, then I'll probably put it over here. Otherwise, it's gonna go all the way on that end. I just need to make sure I've got enough elbow room on the side to feed things in safely. Aside from that, I think the rest of the tabletop, I mean, it's so deep, I can't reach all the way to the end, so I don't really even use this back space. Maybe I'll put my wood storage there so it's not cluttering up this area, but it doesn't really get in my way over there, so I don't really have a pressing need to move it. I'm probably gonna leave a space on the top of the table there to put a chair, just because sometimes my girlfriend likes to come out here and hang out while I'm woodworking, and that's pretty fun, but I don't really have a nice space for her right now. It's just like a little trifold camping chair on the floor. So I might put her up a little throne to watch over the kingdom over there. But for now, it's empty, and I'm probably gonna store the terrarium while it's in progress in there. I'm super stoked to get another clip, or not clam. I'm still thinking of the gym. That brings me up to a grand total of, counting the ones in the router shed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, And then I bought 2 more today, so we're up to 8 clamps, and I'm always finding uses for more of them. It is super, super cliche for woodworkers to say you can never have enough clamps, but I have found it to be extremely true. I'm always wishing I had another clamp. Oh, wait, 10. There's 2 clamps back there that are currently clamping something. I can unclamp those. They're clamping this little, 3 back here. I have 11 clamps. Shows you what I know about keeping inventory. Okay, I've got 11 clamps. That's pretty sick. My mom loves houseplants, so I was making her this little box to stand one of her pots up on. A little late for Christmas, but I'll have it done at some point. Okay, 11 clamps. I'm just gonna clamp them to something to store them. That seems like kind of what everyone does. Oh, did you shift while I was jumping around? Oh, you did. Get back here. Okay, cool. Okay, onto this. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna tell myself that I'm turning this to time lapse so that I actually do this instead of talk to you more. I have found that talking to myself through way of you, the imaginary viewer, to be pretty helpful for me to actually organize my ideas. So whether or not I keep uploading, depending on how this goes, I will probably keep talking to myself because it's so far hurting no one. As long as no one can hear me. Otherwise they probably think I'm crazy. Okay. I'm putting you to time lapse, telling myself that. I've not done any of what I said I was going to do about that time lapse, but that's okay. I realized I never explained why I absolutely had to have a drill when I already have an impact driver, and that is because, if you don't know, this impact driver has this style of like chuck, or I'm not exactly sure what you call this, the thing that you put the bit in. So it's got this part where you pull out, it's got some little like pins that come in and cinch down on the groove in this bit. So it holds on to things wonderfully. It's great, it's fantastic. No complaints with how well it holds on to things. However, they have to be hexagonal. I've got this wonderful little jig to make sure I'm getting a perfectly straight up and down hole, or whatever angle I want, using a drill. It's a wonderful workaround because I don't have a drill press to make sure my holes are accurate. Thank you again, Sam, for giving me this. So in order to use it though, I can't use the freaking impact driver. So I have to get a drill with this style of chuck that, as you see, opens up like that and closes up like that, so that it can hold on to things of many different shapes, including circular. So the crazy workaround I had before was to literally take a pencil, shave it down to the same size as the hexagonal bit that fits in my impact driver, and then I would duct tape it onto the end of this with like 6 layers of duct tape, and it would be enough to get me maybe like halfway through a hole, and then I'd have to switch it out again, which was just a pain. Literally, like, I've had so many stupid workarounds with this impact driver lack of drill situation. If I can find you one of these things that I did here, it's the lengths I went to not buy a like $18 drill from Harbor Freight are insane. Look at this. So this was the multi-sided bit that fit into the screwdriver. I took it to the bench grinder and ground a hexagon in the end after cutting off the flathead side of this, and then ground a groove in it. And it does, I got it close enough, it does fit in the impact driver, but look at that wobble. So So that was barely better than duct taping a pencil to this thing. So I am super glad to get a drill, and kind of kicking myself for not getting one earlier, because now I can make whatever angle hole I want accurately with this lovely little like drill press workaround jig. So that's nice. A little bit of context for why I needed a drill when I already have an impact driver. Cool. Okay, now I'm going to tell myself I'm actually going to do this. All right. I think I've come up with the solution. Come up with the solution for not losing my pencil anymore. I've duct taped a piece of metal to it, and now it lives amongst the other metal tools that are hanging up on my newfangled magnetic holder. Okay, now I'm moving the router table. Supposedly, allegedly. Oh, was I not filming that? Oh, I have to refilm that whole thing? Now it's not going to be authentic. Okay, what I was saying before I accidentally hit stop instead of start on the video was that I love where the router table is right now. Despite how close it is, I feel like I have good access to the bench grinder on both sides. There is one issue though. I mean, look how nice that is. I have all of that open space that I did not have before. However, I have one qualm, and that is I got this nice brand new 8,000 lumen LED, and I can see the oodles better everywhere in the shop. But I have a unfortunate strong shadow right here, right where my work is going to be, and it's going to be just dark all the time. And as silly as it seems to move around the entire layout of my bench top here, I think it's going to bother me. I think it's going to bother me. So the idea is, see where the red, I cannot point in video. Okay, see where the red bench vice, I tried to say bench and vice at the same time. By the way, we're past the refilling part now. This is actually authentic. See where the red vice is right there? I think I'm going to put the table where the vice is. As nice as it would be to have the vise right there and the table here and the grinder right there, so that it's all on one side and I've got a clear, you know, appliance side and clear side. I think I might have to put the vise here and the router there. So I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna see if I hate it. I might move this back and see if I can just add another light up on the ceiling, like up there. But for the time being, I'm gonna try this. I hate this. I don't like where this is. Okay. Oh. I don't know how I overlooked this. I can just put the router table right there, and I've still got everything on one side, and I'm still facing the light. Wow. I feel really, really dumb sometimes working on stuff like this. Okay, jeez. There. It might not come as a surprise to anyone watching this, but your boy went and got diagnosed with some quote-unquote severe ADHD, and boy, that'll make you feel dumb. That just made me think of, you know, me saying I felt dumb doing that made me think of this. Folks, if you think you might have it, go figure it out. Stop running away. Go figure it out. Go get yourself together. Because constant procrastination on your own ability to interact with the world mentally will not serve you in the long term. You got to figure that stuff out. Go figure it out. Okay, I think the vise can go here. Can you see that? Yeah. I think the vise can go here. I know the vise can go here. Obviously, it's right there right now. But I think I can work with the table being all the way over here too. Okay, yeah, that's a strong contender. Oh, do I have the ability to? Ooh, okay, this might work even better than I thought. Okay, so this solution might be even better. So the way I had the router table affixed to my bench top before was with a bunch of clamps like this. You see this clamp right here is holding the fence down, and the second clamp hiding behind it is clamping the top of the router table to the table here, the bench table, two different terms. On this side, if I put it all the way to the edge, this part cannot wrap around the edge. However, it can be screwed to this 4x4 that the bench is sitting on. That leaves me with a gap here that I can put a piece of wood under as a support. But this might allow me to save one clamp and also more permanently affix the router table to the bench top. So I think that's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm going to put a support right there to hold up this from the bottom. I'm going to throw a screw in through here, and then I'm going to keep with my same clamping technique over there. And that way I get one of my clamps back, and this is a little more permanently affixed to the bench top. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Done. I also liked having it permanently in and not relying on the clamp so much that I screwed down this side as well. So that's awesome. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. And now at the right time of like 4 p.m., I'm pretty much ready to start actually working on the project for today. And today that's going to slightly change. At this point, the grinder is now permanently in this spot. The vise is right next to it. The router table has been relocated to the edge here, giving me a big swath of usable space over there on the bench. The project right there, what we have so far, is going to live in this nice open spot where it's not going to get marred instead of sitting on top of the sled on the table saw ready to get beat up. The frequently used tools that are made of ferrous metal are sticking on the magnet. The frequently used tools that are not made of metal are on the top shelf, along with offcuts, tape, and bits, whether they be drill bits or router bits. The middle shelf and the bottom shelf are power tools. The bottom shelf also contains the bucket or the bin of doodads, various aerosols, glues, fasteners, bits, screws, nails, that kind of thing. The corner over here now has a dedicated scrap wood bucket, so it's not falling all over my stuff on top of the bench top. We now have a spot for the trash can that's actually next to where I'm working, so I'm not tempted to just sweep stuff on the floor and actually put it in the trash now. The giant drywall square that's always in the way is now hanging from the ceiling. The floor is no longer covered in inches of sawdust. Things are good. Things are good. There's also sandpaper. Sandpaper has a spot now. Jigs have a spot now. The clamps are on the clamp holding clamp that's clamped to the bench top. Things are actually where I can use them now, and more importantly, where I can conveniently put them back. That is so much more important to me for being able to stay organized than having a spot where things go. They have to be conveniently placeable. So, I believe that concludes the chronological order of things for today, the logical end to today's segment of content that I'm going to put out on YouTube. I've started making the next video already. I actually started filming the intro to the next one and then realized I should probably film an outro to this one. Again, not trying to put a lot of emphasis on production value here, but what I am trying to do is make it so it's at least kind of watchable if someone does feel like sticking along for the ride here. Because once this thing is done, once the project is complete... You hear those squirrels on the roof? Once this project is complete, I have full faith that it is going to be very nice. It's going to be actually something to be quite proud of. So if anyone does want to go back and see how it was made, see if they want to make one for themselves, that kind of thing, I do want to have a catalog, a history of how it was made. So I'll see you in the next one. That one's going to be much more building focused. This one was cleaning. It's unusual. This isn't going to be the norm, but I'm still happy to interact with people, still happy to put something out there. I think this is going to be video 3. So I'm probably like 2 weeks ahead right now from where you are. But yeah, still haven't seen, or yeah, whatever. See you later.